Hello and welcome to yet another series on the LuckFox. And in this case, we're going to be focusing on using Rust on the LuckFox. Now, a little bit of a subtlety here. Usually when you say Rust on a microcontroller, you're talking about bare metal Rust without the standard library and all of that. But we know that the LuckFox can run full-blown Ubuntu, and so you get full-blown Rust if you want it, and that's what we're going to do here at first. Maybe down the line we'll go into some bare metal Rust. I need to learn a bit more before we do that. The motivation for this is, one, I've always kind of been interested in learning Rust, and I don't know a whole lot about it. Well, I've learned about it and why one might want to learn use Rust. And I think on the LuckFox case, we're going to see, not in this video, but in the next video, just a speed test. So if it's something with speed, certainly Rust would run a lot faster. Although you could use C, which we're C in most cases runs even faster than Rust on the LuckFox. But if you know anything about Rust at all, it is highly touted for its difficulty in having the programmer make a mistake and have memory allocation errors and other things like that. So it's very good in that regard. And then like C, it's low-level language. It doesn't have a garbage collector that will interrupt things every once in a while. So you can expect a very consistent speed at which each of the steps are being executed. And on a microcontroller like a LuckFox, that could be something that's important. We're going to try to test this. I don't know the answer to this, but we're going to see if down at this level, even though we're kind of running it with the Linux interface between the GPIO pins, if we can get the same level of speed as if we're talking directly on the bare metal to the GPIO pins. So that's going to be interesting down the line. Okay, so where does this sit? Well, if you've been here for the other series, we have been looking at the LuckFox itself, been doing a lot of things with that, and we're going to continue to do that. So that's going to just continue to grow in the playlist. A little bit earlier, a little while ago, we branched off and we put together a network of 4 LuckFoxes. So in a network setting, and we are building a playlist there where we're looking at the synergy of the network and apply for applications. So under these would be videos where either the networking itself, how it's working, and then if there's an application, does it fundamentally need the network? And then in this new playlist, which I guess I should have a continuing line here, we'll be focusing solely on Rust. Now there might be some interfaces here, and where we're, maybe Rust and it utilizes the network and that sort of thing, but this will be primarily Rust. Now, if you have not been along for any of these, and this is your first time here, this is part of what I call the GNL project, and it really is trying to encompass this quote, this very famous quote from G.N. Lewis, that physical chemistry is everything that's interesting. And I'm a physical chemist. I'm in the Department of Chemistry at Concordia in Moorhead, Minnesota, in the United States here. And my website is just darrenolins.com, where we'll have this course materials. Okay, so this is a introduction here now to this series, and if you've been following along, you should be all set. If not, if this is your first time here, you want to make sure you've looked at the LuckFox tutorial, and Fusion Automate has a great YouTube channel where he goes through how to install the Ubuntu image. So we're not going to do that. This video would pick up right where this is installed. So if you just had a fresh install and you've got that working according to either the LuckFox tutorial, which goes through it in words, or in a video form through Fusion Automate, and it seems to be working, you can move around, do some Linuxy things, then you should be in good shape. Today, we're just going to set up Rust. We're going to run just a Rust program, and then we're going to make sure and use cargo to do things. That's part of one of the big deals about Rust is that you have cargo to and its attendant TOML file that keeps track of all the crates that come in, and so we want to make sure that both the compiler works, which will do just a hello world program, and then we'll do a hello world program with through cargo. Interestingly, Rust is not completely free of C. We need some C essentials in there, and so if you just try to install Rust on the Ubuntu, the Ubuntu package that comes in from LuckFox is really scaled down, so it's missing a lot of stuff. And one of the things it's missing are the build essentials for C. It has the C compiler there, so you could run C programs, but it does not have enough of the stuff that the Rust compiler needs. And I'm not super clear on all the details, but I do know that we have to install that. So that's what we'll do. I've got a study guide or a setup guide that we'll just walk through step by step. So let's go to the computer and do that. Okay, so here we are at the board. Now I'm using our network of 4 LuckFoxes so you can see them here. But for this video and this series on Rust, we won't need any kind of networking, at least early on here. So we're going to just use this as if we're talking to a single board. So we're just going to talk to, I think we're going to talk to 202. So that's this guy right here. So let's go to get the setup guide, which will help us go through this. So let's go just Darren Olness in Google here, and then click here under teaching LuckFox, and you can go all the way down to Rust installation guide, and you should get a PDF like this. I've already got this downloaded, and so that is right here. So we'll just walk through this and get it set up on our LuckFox. And here's our LuckFox right here. Just logged in. No Rust on here. And so this could be equivalent to a brand new image that you put on your LuckFox. I do have some other packages on from before, but that has nothing to do with what we're going to do here. So you could just follow this with a brand new image. Okay, so first thing we should always do is update. So I'm going to run sudo apt update, then I'm going to pause the video because it takes a little while, and you can do that as well. And we start doing that, so I'll pause the video. Okay, so we've got sudo apt update done. Now here comes the C stuff that I mentioned on the whiteboard there. So I'm going to have a little cheat sheet here. And one thing I should mention, so it's right here. Oh, sorry, we should do this. We need to do this first. So you should follow the guide. And this will tell us what version of the C compiler got included here with the Linux. And the key number we want here is 11. So that should be the same as what you have. But maybe if you're watching this video down the line and LuckFox has a new image, then this could be different. So you want to check that, make sure that's 11. Or whatever number it is, doesn't matter. Whatever number it is, just make sure you know the number. Okay, now we're going to do this command. And I should warn you, I've noticed that when I copy from, let me actually just copy this. I'm going to go to my cheat sheet here, and I'm going to put this down right below this one. And notice there, it adds spaces after the after a lot of the symbols. So just be careful of that. So I'm going to, so if you copy and paste in and you have an error, then just check that. And so we will paste this in. Now what this is going to do is load the C build essentials package. And I will again pause the video and come back when this is done. Okay, so that's all done. So now let's go back to our guide here and let's get Rust installed. Now, I had the advantage of I'm running on a Linux machine as my main machine, so I could just go out, it'll recognize that it's Linux, and I could just copy and paste this. If you go out to the Rust site on your Windows machine, if you're using a Windows machine, then make sure that you get the correct code for Linux, because of course we're installing this on the LuckFox, not on your machine. So you want that code. So this should look like this. You can copy this from here. Again, careful with the spaces. And I'm going to try this and see if this works, if I got all the spaces corrected there. And so we'll install Rust here now. Oop, I have an error here, so I'm going to check that and fix that. Yep, those spaces got me. I have space here, and I'm not sure if this switched the quotations. So this I copied now just directly off of the Rust install page. So hopefully that will work now. Look like that's working better. So this takes a fair bit of time. So I'm going to, I should do this. So we'll just do the default install. That's all I've done, and it's always worked. So you just press enter, and it should do the default install. So this will modify your path. Everything seems to hook up just right when you do it this way. So we'll see if that happens. All right, I'll pause the video and come back when it's done. Okay, this is interesting. So I got an error. There's no space left on the disk. So 202 is the one I've been doing the whole series with. So lots of stuff on there. I'm still a little surprised by that, so I'm gonna have to get that figured out. So while I was paused, I went ahead and just got it right up to where we should be now with 204. So 204, this guy here, and this is pretty much a clean build. So this would be similar to if you had a clean image. So I haven't done much on 204 yet. Okay, so now let's go back and follow our guide here. So we've got this installed, and now we want to make sure that it actually did install. So when we checked rust C the first time, it wasn't there. And it's still not here now. So, right. So this is good too. I think we have to log out and log back in. And I probably have that written here. But yeah, I have log out, log back in. So I'm glad this happened. Let's log out and log back in. I think I'll pause for that. Okay, stumbling along here, but we're logged back in. And now let's check. So you needed to do that to get the path connection to take effect. So that's better. So Rust is there. And then if you're at all familiar with Rust, we're just going to do a simple Rust. Well, we'll do both. We'll do Rust program and through Cargo, which is how you would normally set up a more elaborate program. So let's check and make sure Cargo is installed correctly. And it's installed. I don't know enough about this to make these need to match or not, but they match here for all the cases that I've done so far. Okay, so let's just do a quick sort of basic Rust program, and then we'll do one using Cargo. So let me cd into my projects directory. And just have a few files in here. So nothing to do with Rust. So I'm going to make a directory for Rust. And then I'm going to cd into that directory. And of course, nothing in here. So I'm just going to work in this directory. You might want to make a separate directory for, well, maybe I will. Yeah, let me make a separate directory as well. So Okay, and so now we're ready to just make a program. And it needs to be main here. It has to look for a main function. Sudo nano main. And I got cheat sheet here quickly. Very simple program. So we're just going to say, hello, LuckFox from Rust. So we've got our Rust program written. So now we'll compile the program with Rust C. So this is not sort of the normal way you do it with cargo build and cargo run and so on. We'll do that in just a bit. Okay, it should be compiled. So let's look. And we have main RS, and then this main, this is the executable that was. So here's our Rust code, and then here's the executable. So if we go, oops, it should run, and there it is. Hello from LuckFox. Okay, let me back out of this, and I'll go first cargo. Okay, so got a little bit of more on this study or this guide here for cargo. So we'll go cargo new. This will set up all the directory there. We'll call it hello. We'll just call it hello cargo. Okay. And so let's look now. It creates its own directory there. So I guess we could have we wouldn't have needed this first cargo. I should have just worked in the Rust itself. But let's. I had forgotten that it creates an overall directory. And let's look at what's in here. So just the TOML file, and then we have the src directory. So we need to go into there. And it should give us it should plop in a hello world program. So let's go ahead and look at that. And you see here, hello world. So we'll go hello world. Well, hello LuckFox. From cargo. Okay, so now we have this. So now what we can do is we can build this or run it. So let's just try these commands. And if it's just main, then you can just run cargo build and it will look for the main file. You can use other file names, but then you'll have to tell cargo that's what you want to do. So let's see, nothing should be in here. Let's back out here. And so now we see a couple more things in here. We have the TOML file, which was always there. This lock file, I'm not quite sure exactly what that is actually. And then the target directory. So I'm going to just wait to go in there first. Let's actually run this thing, and we'll run it with release. So that means we're making an executable at full optimization or full generic optimization. So about as fast as it will go. and it ran it from cargo, but let's find it and run it again. So where are we at here? So let's go into target, and then we should go into release. And here is our program here. So we should be able to just run from here. And there's hello from LuckFox. All right, I think that is all that I wanted to mention on this one. The next video, we're going to do some speed tests. So we'll do Rust versus Python versus C.